Well, Edward Zwick, it's a very absolute pleasure to meet you.
You too.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us at JOE. A nice endorsement before you even shot a film. Lee Child said it was like winning the lottery, getting you on board to direct. That's a nice thing to hear.
It was very nice. He's a very, very generous and gracious man.
You've never done a sequel in such a varied career. What was it about Jack Reacher Never Go Back that instantly drew you?
I think that very fact, just to try something different, something new. You know, I like this genre, but wondered if there was a way that I could try to spin it a bit in my own direction.
Yeah. Before you even you shot Com's very persistent on the character, it did particularly well around the world because it's such a universal theme. The outsider, he lives by this strict moral code. He referenced films like The Man with No Name and Bullet and stuff like that. The very gritty aesthetic, you know, back to reality, hard-hitting action. Was that something that you were very, very determined to get across on screen?
Yeah, we didn't want to have that big CG, fake denial of the laws of physics. We wanted people that it hurt when you got punched, and that when you held a gun, that there were consequences, and that you know, cars weren't leaping over buildings and such. And that we felt that somehow that would dovetail with the authenticity of the relationships.
And in particular with Tom's performance, it's very still internal as opposed to something like you mentioned, Ethan Hunt, which is very flamboyant, and a lot of set pieces are kind of over the top. That's the genre he's working in. But there's particular moments when it's a very still, very almost scarred character. Is there anything in particular you used to draw that performance out of Tom?
Yeah, I think I actually believe that kind of stillness and internal work is harder and requires an actor of even greater skill than the more antic performance. And I think there are several moments in this movie that are very, very compelling to me, in which you see that sort of churning inner thing happening.
And obviously Tom is in the production role. I've never met the man, but he just seems to have such an enthusiasm for the process and for filmmaking itself. It must just spread throughout the set as well, and obviously it's helpful as well as a director for yourself to rally everybody to make the best work.
Yeah, he's your greatest ally. He really wants this to be the best you can make it, and knows what a director needs and wants to try to help provide the means to do it. But it is that enthusiasm most of all. Yeah. Because it all flows from whoever that number one on the call sheet is, and everyone feels it.
Speaking actually of it, I'm a massive Blood Diamond fan. I think it's as close to a perfect film as you get. I can pick it up at any moment, and it's one of those films I never turn off. Is it harder to kind of get those films made, the very personal stories, but on big canvases now?
Very hard.
Is it? Yeah.
Very hard. Somehow, you know, the film studios have abdicated more serious films at scale. You can make serious, small, independent films, but they somehow really discovered that they didn't have the possibility of doing those huge grosses on adult, big-scale films. So yeah, I was very privileged to make several of them.
You've worked with some remarkably gifted actors and coaxed great Oscar-nominated performance and Oscar-winning performances, in fact. I know everyone's particular in their craft. Is there something that would, a common trait between your Denzels, your Leos, your Toms, that defines them as just like at the top of their game? Is there a work ethic? Is it a process and collaboration?
No, I think it's it's all those things, but I think it's a very strong inner life. I think it's that thing that's happening simultaneous to the performance that is never spoken but is nonetheless seen by the camera.
Yeah.
I think that this kind of remarkably antic, fascinating thing that the camera needs and wants to see more of, because it's there. Yeah. I don't think it can be faked. I think these are very, very complex, very dynamic actors, each of the ones that you describe.
Well, Ed Zwick, massive congrats on Jack Reacher Never Go Back. Best of luck with it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thanks
It's an absolute pleasure.
Thanks.
Thanks very much.